Okay, so we've had a quick look at our newer Massey over there. So I know as a lot of people requested for little tours of tractors, I'm going to get our 135 out now, which is one of my favourite little tractors on the farm actually. Well, it is virtually the littlest, so I do like it because it's just so nippy and easy to handle and everything. So I'm just going to go and get that out of the shed now. Okay, so I've got the 135 out of the shed. We're going to have a quick look at it. I know people have said to me they'd like to tour the tractors, so we're going to have a little tour around this one. And I know quite a lot of people make comments, oh, you ought to clean your tractor, you need to clean it all off. Well, yeah, I can clean it off, but this is a working tractor. It's a yard scraper tractor. I use it twice a day in the winter for 5 months of the year, yard scraping. It's going to get mucky every day, and realistically, it's going to last still a lot longer than these newer tractors, I'm sure of that, because the steel's so strong. A bit of muck won't do any harm really, and I do clean it off every now and then, but my main concern is the paintwork on it is actually fairly good underneath the muck, but once you start scraping the muck off, constantly trying to clean it, it will take the paint off. So actually sometimes it's better just to leave it as it is, because muck on muck isn't hurting anyone. So anyway, we'll have a little guided tour of it if you like, just because I know some of you would like to see it. Okay, so here we are, like I said, the 135, and you can see it's filthy, isn't it? As I explained, the muck doesn't really matter. It's all about being used, and it'll still be around that long after I'm gone, I'm sure. Where do we start? That's the question. Should we start on the cab? The cab here is called a Sirocco cab. There you go, Sirocco. And it's a bit of a funny old cab. It's canvas and steel frame. You can see the frame there underneath. Now, some of this is actually replacement. I put a new canvas roof on it, I don't know, 5 years ago or more, because the old one had split. It was quite expensive. I had to actually, they're only made to measure, so you've got to order them. They're not just off the shelf. The rest of it is steel and glass. The original doors, which actually aren't in bad shape. I did repaint it at the time, so that's why it's looking in better nick than it was before. But the other replacement is these Perspex windows. When it was new, it had canvas on here with a plastic sheeted window, but they didn't last long before they split. So I bought some sheets of Perspex and just cut them out, which do the job, you know. Better than getting mucky and wet in the winter, but a lot cheaper than putting a new cab on. So we got the wheels here. You can see underneath all the muck is actually grey paint. And it looks like someone's knocked that one recently because they scraped the paint off there. But I did have all the wheels off, believe it or not, and I masticed the wheel arches and everything when I did a paint job on this tractor about 5 years ago. So to stop the muck eating in, I try and look after it a little bit. Coming forward, we've got it's two-wheel drive instead of four. The one behind, you can see how tractors have progressed. The old 135 here. And then we got the newer Massey Ferguson four-wheel drive, all sealed cab and everything inside. So the engine's a bit exposed here, but again, not much access to the engine. You just got this top bit for filling up the diesel and water in there. Let's just shut that back down. And that's the battery compartment there. We don't need to see that. But other than that, you've got to undo the bolts there to flip this forward if you want to get to the engine. That's a weight on the front, because it's very light on the front. If you put anything on the back, it does tend to lift up, so there's a weight on the front. A bit of a mucky engine there, could do with a bit of a clean off, I admit. And probably needs some new fuel filters as well. There's the fuel filters there. So coming around the back, the dirty end, but it's nearly all dirty, is our muck scraper, sorry. There is a spool valve on the back, one spool valve. That was all they needed in those days. Now the newer ones have got 6 on. So you can see it's all coked up. Never put the PTO on it, and there's a drawbar underneath. We do actually put the trailer on it occasionally, so there's still a drawbar on the back. And a spotlight, ploughing light, which I use in the winter just to see when I'm scraping. So anyway, I'm going to get inside now and we'll have a little look at the controls inside. Okay, so I'm inside the cab now. It's very basic compared with the other Massey over there. It's a bit chilly, no heater. Look at this, nothing up here. Like the newer ones got all these gadgets up here, like air conditioning and the radio and stuff. There's nothing. A windscreen wiper there. Basic controls, although they're easier to understand. I mean, the main thing I have to say about these older tractors is that they are much easier to repair, and you can do it with a Meccano set virtually. Just the dials, hot water, cold water there, oil pressure. Here we go. There's the miles per hour on there and the RPM. Then we've got the battery light, battery thing that tells you whether it's charging or not. If I turn the lights on, you can see that go down. Can you see that? When I turn the lights on, it goes into negative because it's drawing power from the battery. When you're using it, in fact, if I start her up, you might see. See, it went into positive there. And obviously a fuel gauge as well there. So we haven't got a foot accelerator on here, we've only got a hand throttle. Down the side we've got the draft control, lift up the link arms, and also, so you're really exposed, you can see right at the back, so I can reach in. That's a leveling box, so I can adjust it slightly to do up or down on the level. There we go. Like I said, there's my access to my plough light at the back. It doesn't take too long to cover this tractor because there's not much to it. The seat, very exciting, foam cushion, and it tilts up. Not sure why it tilts up, what the advantage of that is, but it does. Now to start it, we've got actually written on here somewhere the gears. Look, here we go, underneath all the gloom and dirt. There we go. You can see reverse, second, first, third, high and low, and that's middle is neutral. So unlike the other tractor where it had one gear stick and everything, this is back to 2, which is a much better idea. So we got first, second, third, and then reverse over there, and then we got high and low there. Now what to start it, you need to have them in neutral, in the middle there, and we can turn the key then. And should we take it for a little spin? Let's go. Just lift that up. And we're off. A bit bumpy and noisy, but rattly, but it works and I love it. In reverse. So there we go, we've just seen inside our 135, and I hope that's kept some of you happy. It's quite nice to see inside a little old tractor like this, really, isn't it?